Yes, yeah, rah. We are back. The best organic sports show on the YouTube world. Thank you all, because I don't have to do videos about diss tracks from rappers, from rich people. I don't have to talk about politics. I don't have to talk about anything but sports. I don't have an opinion one way or the other about these stories. I don't have any sacred cows. You just get it with no spin, okay? And then you get to call out the corrupt organizations like Fox Sports, Bleacher Report, and all these other people who are spinning narratives. So thank you all, because we don't have to do that here. Also, I just found out that it is 9 days away from Roast the Host, our first inaugural show. 2 minutes, we're going to drop the spot. It's going to be hilarious, so pull up. Couple of ways you can actually win some money to be on Roast the Host. You can actually send us a Cash App. No, I'm just playing with you. You don't have to pay. We will send you a Cash App. We'll go ahead and drop you a Cash App if for the winner. It's 2 minutes, a put down show. We will be live. It'll be some comedians that'll stop through. Everybody will, it'll be a show. It'll be a put down show. You can go after each other in the comments. If you hear a guy come weak and you want to roast him up, go ahead and touch him up. Couple of things that we require. Number one, you be a person. Be a person. Don't be a bot. Don't sit up here and spam the chat or anything like that. Just be a person. Just, because, we want to hear what you have to say. Everything is on the table except my wife and kids and my dad. I'm free game. My mom's free game. We'll talk about the show. We'll talk about production. Have at it. You know what I'm saying? Come for our next. You got 2 minutes. Be funny. Again, no racism. No racism. Don't scrape the bottom of the barrel. That'll get you run. So, Roast the Host. It should be a pretty good one. All right. So now we go from the association and Kevin Durant. That may be his last chance to win a championship. We jump to the National Football League. And I say this affectionately, shut the flock up. Everybody has been squawking and belly aching, bitching and moaning about Michael Penix Jr. going to the Falcons. Some of this, what I'm going to tell you, is my own personal commentary combined with Atlanta.com, where you can find not only what the assistant general manager is saying, but also what's the consensus in the front office. So you marry those two together, and you can clearly see why nefarious forces outside of that organization is sitting here asking dumb questions. And let's not pretend like Kirk Cousins isn't 35 years old, coming off a torn Achilles tendon last year. So don't freak out over a 4-year, $180 million contract. So y'all not questioning that. Y'all not questioning that this dude had a lower leg injury that will make you slower, not faster, slower. Nobody is sitting here saying that he can't play. But $180 million for a 4-year deal, we covered that on the program. Like, whoever his agent is, they just got over on the Atlanta Falcons. Funny, nobody had anything to say about that. If that was anybody else who had any kind of leg injury and they were sitting there playing, they would sit there and tell them, oh, that's too much money. That guy makes too much. No. Come on, man. Let that go. Y'all didn't freak out over that. But instead, we're freaking out over a 23-year-old stud who played in the Big Ten and the Pac-12, won the Pac-12 in its final season, beat Texas in a playoff for the national championship, and played in the national championship game against Michigan. And somehow we're questioning that kid. We're freaking out over that guy. But no one questions Drake May because I said it and I'll still continue to say it. I feel like Conor McGregor at that press conference. Who the fuck is that guy? Who is he? A guy who never played in the ACC title game at no time as North Carolina when he was the QB. This is Mitchell Trubisky all over again. If the college football committee says that Florida State, because they played in an inferior conference, they went undefeated, they won not only the conference championship, and they put themselves in the top 5 that year, Mike Norvell, you all know we well documented everything. If you have the projection that this is an inferior football conference, you didn't even get the quarterback from the best team in that conference. Again, this is what happens when you look at stat stuffers and you don't watch these games, because all of these people are just sitting here watching the stat sheet. And you may watch some highlights and you're like, oh, this kid can do this. This kid can do that. The top 2 teams last year in the ACC were Louisville and Florida State. They were heads and shoulders above everybody in the conference, and they played each other for the ACC championship game. North Carolina didn't. Drake May can't win a bowl game. And I don't care what semantics you put on it. Oh, well, he didn't get a shot. Look, you didn't win the games. And nobody said that, hey, look, the Patriots, that was an awful pick. Because you trust the ridiculousness. And you want access to Robert Kraft and the Patriots organization, which is stupid. Again, Mitchell Trubisky all over again. And these crooked, corrupt sports media mushmouth idiots never question, why are we going after a stat stuffer? I don't see how he makes that team better. And the Patriots, they are retooling from the top to the bottom. So if you can sit here and tell me Drake May, a quarterback nobody ever heard of until that night, was a best kept hidden gem secret, yeah, get the flock out of here. I ain't hearing none of that. The real reason they were freaking out about that draft pick when the Atlanta traded up to go, when Atlanta didn't trade up, I'm sorry, the Vikings and the Jets, that was the trade up. But the real pick that they were, the reason why they were freaking out, why they took him, is respective of this kid is going to play if Cousins is stinking it up. And the organization could find wiggle room to drop Kurt if that ever came to pass. So that's why they were freaking out. Also, they had 8 picks this post-draft and 10 undrafted free agents. Now that the smoke is clear, let's get these morons that work, because I'm here for that. I'm here for every bit of that. And I'm going to go ahead and give it to you once we get back from a quick 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. Drop the spot. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. Download the app, order online, visit your good folks at your local McDonald's. Have you tried the new McCrispy yet? Don't know what it is? It's crispy, juicy, tender chicken, applewood smoked bacon, and creamy Cajun ranch sauce. It's for a limited time only. Yes, for a limited time only. Also, use your McDonald's rewards to get other free food when you're on the app. Buy one, get one free. They had the quarter pounders. We talked about that. That was for that day only. So, McDonald's, I'm loving it. All right, so back to this work. So, when I said that Michael Penix could inherit some weapons and Kirk Cousins could be dismissed, This is the precursor because some folks don't want what happened in Baltimore to happen in Atlanta. And when I say that, I'm being very upfront with you because all of this stuff that came in and there was Joe Flacco was this, Joe Flacco was that. We were telling people that Lamar Jackson is special. Lamar Jackson is Superman back there. And what happened? What happened? They put him in when the season was out of reach, and he came back with only 8 plays. Armed with 8 plays, the kid won the division. Look it up. These is facts. And so the powers to be, they would rather see Kirk Cousins with these weapons rather than Michael Penix Jr. because that could spell the end of Kirk Cousins. Tight end Kyle Pitts on the 5th-year option, so he's locked in until 2025. Now, ATL pulled the trigger because come May the 2nd, every team to speak up on those 2021 rookie deals, they got floating around. So now, in layman's terms, all of the rookies that was drafted 2021, 2022, these guys are coming out of their rookie deals. So by May the 2nd, which is tomorrow, they're on the clock. They need to either come to a deal where they give them an extension on some money, or these guys become restricted free agents as of next year. So that will be an interesting crop to work out and see. And that's, again, you're not going to hear that on SportsCenter. They're not going to tell you about that. See, the hope is that Pitt and Cousins can be some kind of 1-2 punch, but there is some skepticism because Pitts has already played with 4 QBs in all of his years in Atlanta. Everybody from Matt Ryan to Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, Taylor Hinkie. He's had those guys. Now, Kyle Smith, the assistant GM, is looking at the 5-year plan for the Falcons, and he echoed as much when he said, and I quote, "This is the first year that we were sitting there and staring down the barrel at a player we think can be that guy." So Atlanta feels that this dude can be that guy. They felt that Penix is their guy. If this is the assistant general manager, he's echoing the sentiments of upper management. Why would you have a problem with it? You didn't have a problem when Drake May was selected by the Patriots. I can guarantee you, none of them watched him play. They just looked at, oh, he threw for this many yards. He played in North Carolina under Mac Brown and blah, blah, blah. So did Major Applewhite. So did Vince Young. How'd that turn out? Stop it. Miss me with the ridiculousness. So clearly, the man has told you he and the organization feel that Penix Jr. is the future plan. So why is that hard to comprehend? It's not hard to comprehend. Let me spell it out for you. He'll inherit a plurality of weapons. Yes, that's the silent part out loud. In 2021, the Falcons selected tight end Kyle Pitts at number 4 overall. The 3 picks prior, they were all quarterbacks. The next passer wasn't taken until number 11. In 2022, the Falcons took wide receiver Drake London. There were only quarterbacks taken in the first round, and it was later at number 20. In 2023, the Falcons chose running back Bijan Robinson. Number 8, the 3 quarterbacks had already been taken by then, all within the top 4. You see where I'm headed here. You have a great football mind like Raheem Morris combined with a creative offensive coordinator. Throw Kirk Cousins in there, who's on his last legs, but also you have a rookie who can launch the deep ball and bring that dirty bird spirit back to the A. Don't believe me? Smith said the same thing again, and I quote, "What we did to get Kirk should tell everybody what we believe in Kirk Cousins," Smith said. "He's our guy. We set ourselves up. Then in the draft, Michael Penix was there. It's a quarterback, a young back that we believe in. We pulled that trigger. I mean, that's as clear as I can say it." present versus future. So they've acknowledged that Kirk Cousins isn't their long-term plan. He just not. At 35, he can't be. That's comedy. That's buffoonish. To even think that this dude at 35 coming off an Achilles heel injury is going to be a long-term solution. He's a fix right now, but they have Penix as a long-term plan. Morris and Fontenot also let this gem slip out when they both said, and I quote, the reins, get it, the reins of the team will eventually and inevitably have to trade hands. And that's okay now. That's the plan. So, all of these Kirk Cousins guys that was high-fiving each other, Kirk Cousins never was the plan. He never was the plan. Michael Penix Jr. was the plan for the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins handing the reins over to Michael Penix is the plan. And Kurt knows this. And he's fine with it. After all, who can be mad at getting $180 million at the twilight of their career? Stop hating on this dude. This guy played in the national title game. I don't know why him and J.J. McCarthy went so late, because those guys actually played against great competition in the SEC, great competition in the Big 12, and the last year of the Big 12. And then they played each other the last year of the Pac-12 and the Big 10. The Big 10 is pretty much one of the richest conferences, so they ain't going nowhere. But how do you feel about it? Is this a whole bunch of nothing? Or are they scared Michael Penix Jr. is probably one of the best quarterbacks nobody's talking about in this draft class? We'll find out. A lot more show to go. This is Big Verded Ab Stupid. We'll be back, I swear.